Hi everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here, and I'm recording this week's comic review on my iPad, mainly because I wanted to see what it would look like, and also just as sort of an experiment in case, because last fall my computer was down, my computer was broken, and I had to get repaired, and I couldn't upload anything. Well, I had my phone, which I put a update video on, but couldn't do an actual review, so I thought, and also last November I got an iPad mini, and I figured that had more memory, so I could probably record possibly a full review and maybe post that. And so I just figured do a little experiment, make a review on my iPad, upload it that way, and see how it turns out, just in case I can't use my usual computer. Okay. All right. So this is going to be try to be a short review because I only have 3 comics this week. Starting off from Marvel is Scarlet Spider number 14. Pretty much, Kane's dying. Okay, last issue he was ripped apart, huge hole in his stomach, bleeding to death, and pretty much now the entire issue is just mostly Kane in a death sort of sequence where he's at death's door, and it's pretty much just like what happened in the other story arc, which was a few years ago before Brand New Day, when Peter died and he somehow embraced the animal spirit of the spider and came back to life, and also got a bunch of new powers, which when Kane came back to life, he started to develop, which include the claw-like stingers and the organic webbing, etc. But in this issue, Kane, the same thing that happens to Peter happens to Kane in this issue, and I know what you're thinking, didn't Kane already go through that when he died and came back between Last Hunt and Spider Island? Yes, that's what I thought, but apparently now he's going through like the full thing, I guess. Although really I think Kane's original resurrection could be explained, maybe it could be a link to the Jackal more than the big Queen Spider or whatever. But pretty much this issue, Kane he encounters the whole spider spirit, and apparently the reason Peter, and it does provide a little explanation as to why Peter Parker doesn't have the post other powers, is because Peter apparently rejected the spider. Don't know how he came back to life or whatever, but Kane apparently embraces it, and he's able to come back to life, except he comes back as this sort of like man, I don't want to say man-spider, like somewhere between Spider-Man and a man-spider transformation. Like, he doesn't have 8 extra arms or anything, but he does have like a ton of extra eyes and his stingers and stuff, but that's pretty much what happens. Just this issue is just like an entire rip-off. No, not really a rip-off, just like a basic mimicry of the other story arc, except a lot more shorter. So I'd say if you're a fan, if you enjoyed the other story arc that happened in Spider-Man a few years ago, then get the last issue and this issue and the next issue, and you might enjoy it. If not, then you should probably pass. Okay, now it's time for DC. Superboy number 17. We are heading towards the conclusion of Hell on Earth. Alright, so pretty much Batman and Cyborg, the Justice League's guest starring, they teleport back to the Watchtower to help the Flash coordinate an attack on Hell's star drive, which he's going to use to travel back in time. So basically, it's just down to Superboy, Wonder Woman, and Superman back on Earth. Superboy, Hell decides, right after Batman and Cyborg leave, Hell shows up and he attacks all 3 of them. Pretty much, Hell rips off the Kryptonian armor that Superboy's been wearing for like the majority of this story arc, and puts it back on Superman, saying that, if basically, because Hell feels like Superman's mocking the House of L and figures he should at least have the dignity to wear the family armor. But good news is Superboy has the armor off, but he's not dying anymore. That's the main reason he was wearing it. So anyways, Superboy gets the armor. So after Superboy gets the armor ripped off, we take a break from the Hell Superman Smackfest, and well, go back to Superboy because it is his title. And Superboy apparently meets the herald of the entity known as the Oracle, who's been teasing this showing up in this story arc. And they have a little brief fight, but then the herald disappears. And after the herald disappears, Supergirl shows up and starts beating down on Superboy, saying that, she doesn't really trust him because he's a clone. And as we all know, clones and Krypton are bad news. And because of that, Supergirl just pretty much gives no trust in Superboy, even though he's saying that he and Superman are not responsible and hell's wrong. She doesn't believe him. And little moment that I liked here was when Supergirl's pretty much beating him down about how, he's evil. She's saying he's evil because he's a clone, but then Superboy says, if I'm so bad, how come you're throwing the punches? So that was kind of a little moment there. And also, right after that, Wonder Woman shows up. She says she's going to take care of Supergirl so that Superboy can head over to the Star Drive, which he does, and that's where the issue ends. Okay. Pretty much this is just Superboy not really having a good day. First he has to fight Hell. It doesn't really seem like he's fighting anyone in this issue because he keeps getting passed around like it's musical chairs or whatever. First he seems to be fighting Hell, but Superman takes that. Then the Oracle's Herald guy teleports away. Then Supergirl, Wonder Woman takes over with that. Not much going on here. If you are pretty much only reason to get Superboy at this point is Hell on Earth, because this title has been dull. I'll say that. The only thing that is keeping me right now, reading Superboy right now is just Hell on Earth. That's pretty much the only reason. And I might get the Aftermath issue after this, but see what happens. Since he's met Superman now and what their relationship is headed towards, I want to see that. But other than that, there's just no real Hell on Earth. Your only reason to get this. Alright, now for something that's actually awesome. I don't want to talk about the plot because this is pretty much a big conclusion. And I don't want to talk about the plot about it because I don't want to spoil anything. And also, I will be doing an in-depth review of this comic on Dark Avenger Inc. Plus. Batman number 17, the conclusion to Death of the Family. This story arc proves why Scott Snyder is a great author and why he's also a great writer on Batman, okay? He's amazing. All right, this was a very great story arc. Warning though, the artwork in it is a little creepy. Let's say that. That's a good word, creepy. So those of you with a weak stomach, you may not want to read this. But other than that, Death of the Family is an awesome story arc. I have a feeling that this will be remembered as one of the great Joker stories of all time. Scott Snyder does an impressive job writing both Batman and Joker's dialogue during this issue. It's very impressive, really amazing, and it's not. And the conclusion too isn't really like, okay, this is the last part, we're done. No, there are going to be some ramifications that are going to be touched upon in all the other other series like Nightwing, Red Hood, Teen Titans, Batgirl, about what's happened to the other characters. Those are going to be touched. I'm pretty sure those are going to be touched upon. But again, Death of the Family, very awesome story arc. If for whatever reason you aren't reading this, I would say wait until the trade comes out. Okay, you owe it to yourself to get this. All right, because if you haven't read this, you missed out. But don't worry, I'm pretty sure they're gonna probably reprint the trade out maybe this summer, and it will be, and trust me, get it, you won't be disappointed because this is an amazing story, because Scott Snyder has made Batman probably the best-selling DC book at DC Comics right now. So, nothing but love for Scott Snyder and Batman right now. Okay, that's everything for my comic review. Like I said, it was a very short, light week for me. Alright, quick little recap. Batman number 17, conclusion to Death of the Family. Awesome issue, awesome story arc, awesome series overall. Superboy number 17. Hell on Earth is almost over. That story arc is the only reason I continue to get Superboy. After this, this title is pretty much headed towards being dropped from my full list. Scarlet Spider number 14. A little bit of an homage to the other. Pretty much, if you liked the other, then you might like this. If not, then you may want to skip it. And that is it for me. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Spider-Man 1991 saying see you later.